Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back. Alright, sorry for the technical difficulties of that one. For some reason, today's episode, like as soon as it started, I started to talk, and then I don't know if it was something streamer happening there, but it's audio, so it's hopefully figured out now. But anyway, as I was saying about 3 minutes ago, welcome to the latest episode of Slicey Boy Saturday. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about all the Ozark trail knives that came out recently that I purchased yesterday from multiple places. Yeah, I don't know, maybe my fucking idiot neighbor is what's causing a lot of the issue here is what it is, because he was doing all kinds of shit today with various tools over in his place. Sounded like he was drilling some stuff. I'm not sure if he was trying to drill himself free power or what was going on there. But yeah, very fucking suspicious either way. So anyway, but yeah, I went to my local Walmart yesterday and then found the little Ozark trail knife section, which was really small. It was literally just like the little like carousel thing. They had about, I think it was maybe 5 of the new knives on it, 6 new knives on it, something like that. I think there was like 10 or 12 of it, if I'm not mistaken, plus a couple multi-tools. And then I was like, okay, they don't have everything here, and I'm gonna get what I can get here. And then I ended up going up to my chiropractor, And as soon as I got to her place, I got finished with that appointment, obviously, in about 10 minutes or so is what it was. And then we ended up going, my cousin and I went up to the other Walmart there in Belton Village. And I'll tell you what, it was kind of night and day of Trust Society, basically. And the reason I say that is obviously because at the local one I go to here, which is like 5 minutes from my place right now, I can go and just pick the, like literally, walk up and just like pull one of these off the thing is what it is and walk over and pay for it basically. Whereas up in Belton Village there, I went and they had like the much bigger rack. And mind you, there was somebody actually at the sporting goods counter there right by the rack and stuff. But yeah, they still had all these little things through a freaking alarm system thing. So it was just very sad and pathetic, honestly. And really just shows the Trust Society we have right now of people being piece of shit thieves is what it is then. So, but anyway. So for those who don't know, last year, it was Christmas time, you had 2 knives that came out that Walmart did. They did this particular fixed blade right here, and they did this little folding knife right here. They did a few other things too, by the way. But both of these have now returned as 2 of these quote-unquote new knives that they released recently, which obviously the fixed blade is now called the Eagle Rock, which I picked up one of because I wanted another one is what it was, because I really like this one to begin with. And then this guy right here is now known as the Zephyr. They also had another one that was similar to this that was called the Shadow, but it had different scaling on it is what it was, which I didn't get a chance to pick that up because it was only at the second store, and it was such a pain in the ass for this woman to have to go get keys to unlock these alarms, and then like it was like 5 minutes of fucking thing, and she was having to pull these off basically. And I was like, yeah, it's not even worth it at that point. Like, just get the other 2 and let's get the fuck out of here. And I totally understand Honda's frustration now they're in Denver because that's what he has to deal with every single time he want to get like underwear and stuff like that. And it's just so ridiculous, dude. Like, there's no reason for that kind of crap, honestly. And I think it's even going to get worse now because of all these idiots talking about the EBT cuts and then discussing how they're going to be thieves now is what it is or whatever. So it's just so stupid is what it is. But anyway, so I'm going to go over these 2 guys first off because I want to see if there's anything actually different between the 2 of them. Obviously, I know there's one difference, which is that obviously the original version that was non-named Zephyr does not have a reversible clip thing right here, whereas this new one does. Obviously, this was $5 last year. This is $8 now. We're going to see if there's anything else different besides that is what it is. Same thing with the Eagle Rock. I think it's probably a similar knife, honestly. It's just a matter of, price difference now is what it would be. So I'm going to go ahead and try to just pop these open. This one's kind of a little bit harder in some spots, obviously, because of it having the sheath with it then too. So I'm going to try to just rip like that, I guess. Yeah, that worked. Okay. Yeah, so I think this looks any different than the other one. Okay, a little piece of tab shit right there. I don't know. Looks like it might be a little bit of a distinction there. All right. So let me grab out the this little sheath thing here too, real quick. If I can get that to pop out. It's like little holder piece here. God, this is taking forever. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So pop it in there. Didn't even feel like it's clipping into place yet. It did, but it doesn't. There's not like an instinctive snap or anything like that. So, I'm gonna try it with this one. Yeah, see, that's the old one. You can hear like the distinctive like click into place there. This new one, you really don't. It just kind of sticks in there. So let's go over the difference between the 2 of these right now. Sheaths look very similar on both sides. The overall look at both of them is almost exactly the same. The only differences I'm seeing right now, obviously this being the older model that was only $5. As you can tell, the tang goes all the way into the grip is what it is here. Whereas with this new one that I picked up yesterday, you can actually see where there's like a little bit of handle that is not totally, shit. You can see there's a little bit of handle right here that is not totally lined up with the actual tang itself. So you have like a little bit of extra tang outside of it then. But that being said, overall it looks like they're comparing, contrasting the things. Looks like they lined up pretty evenly. Jimping is a little bit different on each one, it looks like. And then, yeah, let me see here. Yeah, jimping is a bit different. The Tonto blade looks about the same. But yeah, so it's basically about the same. There's minor differences, obviously. They both feel about the same, honestly. The only thing I would say is like I can literally feel like that spine is what it is in the new one because it's not completely like what you call it, which might just be it might have just been something where I could have got a different one. It could have been like all there together and stuff. It might have just been like a bad production factor or something like that. It wasn't completely lined up out of the box or something because actually that's what it kind of looks like now because if you look at it from the under angle here, if I can get this on camera here, like right here, it looks like there's a little bit of extra. So if I were to like unscrew these screws on these and like re-up it a little bit, it might be more secure if that be the case then. But they definitely both feel about the same. Like I said, the jimping feels, I would say, better on the old one actually. Like this new one has like more of like just like a curve basically, where this one has like an actual like it definitely is going to start a fire kind of situation. There's what it is. So I'm not sure which one of these is which, but I don't know if that was the old one or the new one, but I'll try it versus both and see if they fit in each one. Okay, so this is definitely the new one. Yeah, it almost feels like that's not like quite done up is what it is, because even with the old knife and the new sheath here is what it is. It does not do that like audible click in there is what it is. So I'm gonna try this one with the old sheath then if that be the case. Yeah, it has like a little bit of a click there. Not much of one, the new one. So I think it might just be like a sheath situation there is what it is. But yeah, not a bad little knife though is what it is. Like I said, for obviously it's better at 5, but like even at 8 now, it's still a pretty good blade. Plus I wanted a second one of these just because, you know, for like bushcraft stuff is what it is. To like beat around with. I want to say these are made of like, it's like 3CR13 steel, I want to say. But I could be totally wrong about that one. I want to say it was 704 Gear was one that talked about that recently. So, but anyway, moving on. We're going to go through the Zephyr now is what it is. And then we'll go through all the other ones that are brand new ones. So, what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to use my little dagger blade. I use pretty much open everything right there, and I'll just do it right along the line. Here's what it will be. To give myself a little bit of ability to open these up is what it is. If I can, maybe. I don't know. That's the problem with some of these. They are kind of hard to open. I know you can do it with scissors and stuff like that. I know you can do it, you know, other knives and stuff, but I just want to try the dagger thing and see if it actually works or not. Mostly because I really like that dagger thing. Yeah, it did work quite a bit, actually. Or at least it busted enough to where I could pop it through is what it is then. Alright. Come on, you. Come on, you package. There he goes. Okay. let's go ahead and do our little test on this guy. Yeah, it's got decent flicking action. So, yep, the only thing I'm seeing different on this one right now is the new reversible pocket clip right here, where you can take it from here and then put it down here if you want to put it down there. Whereas the old one that I paid $5 for last year does not have that ability. It just has the single version. This actually feels slightly more secure too, by the way, compared to the ones I got last year. So let's go ahead and see the blades side by side here with the old one. They look about the same, honestly. New one looks a little bit sleeker, actually. Yeah, like comparing the old one here right now to the new one almost looks like it has a little bit of almost like a drop point, like right in this area as a Tonto. Still a pretty good deal, though. Like I said, would I actually pay another $3 for the whatchamacallit if I didn't already have one of these? Probably not, honestly. But if you don't have one yet, like, yeah, for $8, like, it ain't a bad deal, man. So, go ahead and set both of these up to the side now is what it is. Move on to the next one that we got. So there's actually one that came out recently that they didn't put a name to, and it's this guy right here, which I'm going to refer to as the Falcon. But they don't actually have a name for it yet. It's called 7-inch folder. So, but this is one of the ones I picked up yesterday, and I wanted to check this out because it was pretty cool, and you know, just overall it seemed pretty good deals. What it was. It was sitting with everybody else, so I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll just grab that one too then. So. There you go. Okay, it's a little bit different than I thought it was. It's more of an interesting. I thought it was more of a sheep's head originally, but now it looks more of a. I don't know what you'd even call that thing. It's like a kitchen knife of some kind. Scaling isn't bad on the back. It does feel a little weird though because it's again one of these kind of ones. Like if you, I don't know what the hell's going on with that. It feels like it's almost got like some stickiness to it or something. But yeah, it's definitely the only thing I would say about this guy is that it has, like, again, the actual scales for the knife itself do not extend far enough up. So you're basically hooking like right into that is what it is. Although you got a little mini choil right there, but it is just nice on this. Let's go ahead and check the on this to make sure it actually folds pretty good. Yeah, it definitely feels like it needs a little bit of oil on there or something. Oh yeah, definitely need some oil on there. Because that is not wanting to go anywhere right now. Yeah, it's going to need to be oiled up or something for the next couple days. Yeah, it almost feels like it's got like, I don't know what is even on this. It looks like I don't know if it's like somebody like spilled some shit when they were taking these out of the box or something, or what it was. It definitely feels like there's like stickiness going on. There's what it is, like glue or something maybe. Yeah, because even like when I click that into place right now, it's not wanting to hook on the liner right now. I mean, if I'm going to take this one back and get an exchange for it or something. It's not a bad little knife though, but like I said, just I don't know what's going on with it though. It just has like some weird stickiness out of the box or something. Yeah, maybe I'll just take a Q-tip, put some oil in it and stuff like that, and see if that doesn't work it out. If that be the case, then. Yeah. That was pretty much my plan with a lot of these, actually. So, anyway. Yeah, I was going to put like a pretty good knife in there and then just put like one of these little crappier knives in there, then that'll be the case. So next up, we got the Vertex, which I'm not sure about this one. I've seen people do a couple different reviews on this recently, and some are good, some are bad. It seems like it's more of a like weird liner lock design on it, where it doesn't have like it's basically just like aluminum scaling or whatever on there. Which might be an issue with my arthritic hands at some point. I swear they had a button lock one, but I couldn't find it yesterday. But I could be wrong about that one. Okay, let's see if I can get this out of here now. All right. Yeah, looks like a pretty decent blade there. Looks like a nice little drop point. Got your American kind of scaling on there. Oh, didn't really want to go though. This probably be another one that needs to get a little bit of oil in there. Jesus, that really doesn't want to go. So this does feel pretty good in the hand though. I will say that. One thing I probably will do actually is I'll probably take the clip here and put it on the other side as it'll be. So that way it's more of an outways. Jimping feels nice on this. The little choil thing on the what you call it there feels okay. I'd probably hold my hand back like this though, but as well. I was using this cutty thing though. I'm gonna do cut tests with these in a minute here, as soon as we finish through everything. So next up is one that I actually had to go to the second store for, which was the Ridgeline. That's also where we got the Trailman from too. Everything else is gotten from the first store. So these are the ones that were behind an alarm system of all things, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, people, like, y'all really don't trust your customer base here, apparently. Which it kind of makes me wonder though, because I'm assuming it was something where it was probably like 16 or 17-year-old kids that probably jacked the shit or something, or maybe like 13 or 14-year-old kids then that couldn't afford it, or I should say couldn't afford it. They probably could afford it. They just weren't of age to actually buy the knives. Because I think to be like 16 or 17 to buy these knives is what it is there. So it might have been something where it was like an underage kid just stealing stuff instead of having a parent buy it for him or something. But again, it is what it is. Semantics at that point. Like, don't be stealing people. Stop creating a low trust society for the rest of us is what it is. So anyway. One thing I will say with this out of the box is, shit, my freaking mouse just fell. Yeah, one thing I will say with this out of the box is that it definitely has, I don't know if it's like some black shit from like shipping on it or what it is, but this is almost like a Christmas color right here is what it is. So yeah, it's got a nice little snap to it then. A little stiff actually. This one might need a little bit of oil too, just to get it a little bit cleaner, because it definitely hurt. It's taking a little bit of what you call to get there. Has a nice little, not only sort of jimping on the knife blade, it has a little like jimping set right there, and then one here as well. So feels pretty good in the hand. I'm pretty sure these are all G10 scales, if I'm not mistaken, on these. But let me check on that just to confirm. Grab one of these ones right here. This is the last one right there. The original one. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I ripped all the shit off of it already, so I can't really tell even on that. I'm guessing that's G10 scaling, but I could be wrong. So, who knows? Let me check this other one and see if that says it's G10 scales. Oh, it's polypropylate scales. That's what it is. Okay, so not quite G10, but similar. It's like the cheaper end or whatever. So let's go to the Trailman here. This one is one of the ones I wanted to really pick up just because it was like a big slicey boy. And as you guys know from the past with these episodes, I do love me a big slicey boy. That's why I have all these crazy ass fixed blades that are like machetes and stuff. So, ooh, yeah, that feels good in the hand. Feels really nice in the hand. Yeah, choil is really nice too. Wow, that's some decently aggressive jimping on there, shockingly. Let's see how this folds and see if we can get a good opening again. Yep, got a decent snap to it. Yeah, this one actually feels like, so far of all these, this actually feels the best in my big ass hand. So I could definitely see going out and doing some work with this thing in the woods. What was this one even considered, actually? Yeah, this is a 4-inch, 4.5-inch rubberized handle is what it is. Liner lock, ball bearing, reversible pocket clip. So, honestly, this is the one I would actually keep on this side right now. Just because. So, yeah, it definitely feels very, like, it definitely feels like it was designed to be put in the hand correctly is what it is there. So, and then we got two more. We have the Glacier and we have the Thunderhead, which is what I'll be opening next. Here's what it is. This is a 3.25-inch blade, 4.5-inch or 4.25-inch propylene handle. So, just need to get my finger in there to get it enough to where it'll actually. You want to pop apart the stuff here. There it goes. Ooh, that's a nice looking blade. Yeah, I really like the design on that blade for sure. Kind of reminds me of the other one that has no name right now. Feels similar too, by the way, in the hand. Let's see if this will actually give us a nice little, nice little flicky there. So yeah, I think that other one just needed like some oil or something in the bearings or something maybe. So yeah, comparing it to this guy right here, like, there's not much difference between the two of these actually, except this one has like a little like indent, I guess is what you call it there. I'm not even sure what it would be. And then of course, obviously with this, this new one does not have a actual reversible clip on it, just has the top weird clip there is what it is. Versus obviously these guys have the clip there, and then you can do a reverse there is what it is then. So yeah, that one didn't even barely come out at all. Like there's definitely like, you can tell like just trying to open this thing, there's like some weird stickiness going on with the bearings on it or something. Yeah, like it's not wanting to go at all really is what it is. So yeah, it's got a similar but slightly different, obviously. I think this is more of a sheepshead design, and this would be more of like a weird like point, I guess. And I wouldn't call it even a drop point. It'd be like a weird like dew point almost. I'm not even sure what the name of that would be. I'm sure there's a name out there for it, but I'm not sure. But either way, it is what it is. So then finally, we got the Glacier before I open that. I'm going to go ahead and take a drink because my throat is definitely causing me issues right now. Yeah, some. I think we're okay now. Should be okay now. Yeah. Okay. I think it's the weather changing is what's going on right now. We have been last night and today, or I should say last night and this morning, and then tonight into tomorrow morning, we're under frost advisories now. So, which I am going to be doing a new. I might be bringing back Tactical Tuesday this coming week as like a one-time shot because I want to do a review on different pairs of socks that I picked up recently for wintertime. And of course, I got the little Glacier that actually definitely a drop point blade on there. Feels nice in the hand for sure. Yeah, this is definitely very similar to the one that they released last year for Black Friday time. As you can see, it doesn't have a full scale through as it is there. And I can literally go like that, and it kind of does a little bit of issues there. So the only one that's a access lock of the bunch. So let's go ahead and see how that actually functions or not here. Seems like it's wanting to, but I don't know if it'll go completely or not. Yeah, there it goes. Okay. Yeah, it just seems a little stiff. I might just have to put a little bit of oil or something in there later. Got our nice little. I forget what these are called. My mind is like completely blanking right now because I'm like so tired. Thumb assist, I think is what they're called, something like that. So anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and okay, there it goes. Now it's kind of starting to work. I think maybe I just hadn't gotten it the first time around or something. But then it's having issues coming back open. That's weird. You would think it would not have an issue like that. Yeah, it's almost like these are two, like it's almost like they need to be out a little bit further than they are from the actual scales on the handle. Like it's a lot harder to like pull it and open them basically. Yeah, it's like it doesn't want to come out that way. It's weird. It's like it wants to come out with that thumb assist. I don't know, maybe I got a bad one or something. Not a bad little knife, though, is what it is. So, but yeah, definitely has a weird situation there. It doesn't want to open with its tabs. It just wants to close with them now. Yeah, like as soon as I'm like doing that, like it's like half wanting to go. There it goes. Yeah, it's a real pain in the dick, dude. Like I'm definitely gonna have to oil this bitch up or something because it's definitely not wanting to go the way it needs to go. So that's one thing I will say. Like, you know, you get what you pay for, honestly, and you're paying $8 for these. Like, what do you really expect, you know? So it's not like a big, huge issue, but it's an issue enough to where you're gonna have to get like a little bit of oil or something like that and try to oil them up a little bit and see if they'll get better, is what it is. So. But anyway, you got some what you call it papers here that I'm going to go ahead and do some slice tests with these things, and we'll go over and see how each one of them basically functions and if there's any issues or not. I'm going to make sure which one of these is which here. Okay, that's the old one. It's pretty sad that you have like the snap now and you can tell which one's which of these fixed blades. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cut us a little bit of paper here and see how these cut right out of the box is what it is there. Or if they cut right out of the box. Yeah, it doesn't really have much of a Yeah, it's definitely needs some sharpening right there on the box. It'll be. I can see just taking this out of the woods and using it, like beating it against a few trees or something like that, and it probably will do some kind of cut. But you definitely don't want to fuck around with a dull knife, is what it is. So, moving on to the Zephyr on this one. Yeah, it's got a bit of a slice. Although, to be fair, this paper is not really the greatest. So, maybe that's what the issue is there. Yeah, no, it definitely doesn't have a whole lot of edge to these blades. So, yeah, that's fine. I got a sharpener. I'll sharpen them up then a little bit. So, which I mean, I guess technically, what I probably should be doing with these, actually, now that I think about it, given the fact that they are, you know, out of their own boxes. This is a card stock, so might as well just try to cut through this if that be the case. Then with these blades and make sure that I can tell, like, hey, can these actually cut through properly? So we're just gonna do that actually. Yep, nope, that really doesn't have an edge to it to cut through that. Yeah, now it's got a little bit of an edge, but not a lot at all. So again, it's whatever. We will do these down. So this is the entire point of doing this, is to prove if these actually can cut or not. Yeah, it's got a bit of an edge, but not much. It's got more of an edge than that fixed blade does. I'll tell you that right now. Because obviously that was the fixed blade right there, and that was the Eagle Rock right there, and then that was the Zephyr right here. We're gonna try the Glacier now. Glacier's got a decent little edge to it there. You guys can see there or not right there. Yeah, so that would be the Glacier's cut right there compared to the Zephyr's cut. It's definitely got about twice the cut through strength so far. Straight out of the box there. We're gonna go with the unnamed one that I am referring to as the Falcon now. I don't know what they'll call it in the future, but it's probably something else. So we'll do right here. Try that one again, actually. Yeah, it's got a bit of an edge. Again, not a ton. I'm sure a few swipes through a decent sharpener is going to do wonders for this thing now. As will some oil, obviously, so it'll actually want to come loose, because it really does not want to come loose like that at all. So, next up we're going to do the Thunderhead. If I can get it to pop here. There it goes. So, right about there. Yeah, it's got about as well. Actually, it's a little bit less than the Eagle Rock does. I mean, a little V notch, and that's about it, honestly. So yeah, that's something I need to be sharpened up pretty good. Let's see. Go with the Vertex. We will go right here, I think. That had a decent cut to it. That was more on the line with Glacier, actually, out of the box. So, let's see. Then we got the Ridgeline and the Trailman as the last two here. So, I don't really have high hopes for this guy at all, just because it looks kind of dull right now to me. So, no, it did pretty good, actually. It did better than the other two, actually. So, surprise, surprise, this actually has a decent edge out of the box. And then finally, we're going to do the biggest boy of all, the Trailman. And what I will actually do with this guy is I'm going to go opposite down here, just because there's not really a lot of space up here anymore. Let's see how good this guy does. Yeah, did okay. I don't know what I was really expecting, but yeah, like they're not going to be super sharp out of the box anyway. So, like I said, I'm going to do some sharpening with these this coming week, and we'll go from there. But yeah, they each got a little bit of an edge out of the box already. But I would say definitely if you have a sharpener on hand, use a sharpener is what it is, because when you're getting slices like that through cardstock and like cardboard and stuff like that, like it's definitely not sharp enough to do a whole lot of stuff out of the box is what it is then. Like if you're specifically, if you're going to take any of these, like this guy right here, out to the woods and do anything with it, dude, like, or, you know, the Eagle Rock, like, dude, please sharpen your knives before you go out there and do anything with them, because you're going to hurt yourself otherwise. And God forbid you're like 20 miles out in the wilderness and you know, slice a vein of some kind or something, and then you end up having to, you know, tourniquet yourself or something like that, and then hopefully get back to safety and humanity before everything goes to shit then is what it is. Because, yeah, the last thing you want is to die out in the woods is what it is there alone and scared, basically is what it is. So, anyway, what I'm going to do, though, now that we've shown how, those guys are out of the box as just random. I think they're, like I said, I think it's 3 CR13, but I'm not 100% sure on that. We're going to talk about a different knife I had come in the other day, which was an SDO KEDC. This is DC53 steel on this one. It's the newest fixed blade I got the other day because it was on sale, and it was also a decent deal. This is what I would actually take out into the woods with me if I was to take a knife out of the box into the woods, just because I know what these DC53 knives are capable of already, and usually how sharp they are out of the box. So we're gonna go ahead and do a test on this bad boy right now versus this cardstock, just to show the difference between what happens when you sharpen a knife at a company and what happens when you mass produce and don't sharpen what it is there. So yeah, as you can see the difference. And if I can do it this way, actually I might be able to just cut through this thing entirely. Pretty close, actually. So this is some pretty thick cardboard, though, I'm not going to lie. And I also don't want to, you know, cut through it and not cut into myself by accident. That would be a bad deal. So yeah, that's some pretty thick-ass cardboard, but in general, like, these DC53 knives are, like, very good. Yeah, it's a much better cut right there is what it is. You can see how just decent that is out of the box right there. One thing I do like about this one, too, is it has that little, like, finger hole for your pinky. So you can basically do it like that's what it is then. And I could definitely see taking this out into the woods and doing some, like, various bushcraft stuff with it is what it is there. So, but yeah. So, anyway. But like I said, you can definitely tell the difference between even just that cut right there of it versus like these little teeny baby cuts from everything else. And the difference in knife quality steel is what it is. So, which is day and night, literally. But then again, you're also paying, compared to those other ones that are $8, I think this one was like, without being on sale, I think it was like $30-something. and I think I paid like 25 or something for it. So you're talking about something that's like 3 to 5 times the price almost. But again, when you're paying the difference, obviously you can tell the difference. There's what it is. So definitely, I would say if you're in the market for any kind of a fixed blade, go with DC53 steel, man, is what it is. These SD, what is this company called again? It is SDOK EDC, and yeah, they're one of the better ones on the market right now that I found, both for DC53 steel, but also the fact that they will do deals all the time is what it seems like on Amazon, to where you can get something that's like under 25 bucks or under 30 bucks is what it is, when usually these knives are like 40 to 50, it seems like. So, but yeah, they're definitely a very good product for sure. And I think with the exception of like 2 of my 53 knives right now, but that I mean a DC53 is what it is, steel, because I got like 5 or 6 of these now is what it is. I believe 3 or 4 of them were this one for this company, and then the other 2 are different companies then. But, and the one thing I will say about these people is, so obviously you get your nice knife box, here's what it is, but then they'll put it in this crazy ass packaging where it kind of looks like they're shipping you a brick of cocaine is what it is. So it makes it funny at that point. But anyway, and yes, that is an excellent point. Take more than one knife on hikes with you. Yeah. Thing is, I don't, if I'm going to go out into the wilderness of any kind, my family's like place and stuff, I'm carrying at least 2 pocket knives with me that are folders, and then I'm also carrying a fixed split out there too, is what it is in my pack that I have me in my bag and stuff. So, but yeah, like I will definitely take a fixed split with me on the belt, probably is what it is then, and then I'll have like 2 pocket knives in various places. So it would be, most likely it would be something like that I would take out with me, and then it would be my Flessa that's in my bag always is what it is, and then it would be probably something like this that I've had in my shorts for like the entire summer, basically is what it is, and now into the fall. So, which, like I said, I need to, with these little Zephyrs and stuff, I definitely need to sharpen those up to like a razor's edge or pretty close to a razor's edge, because they are not very good right now out of the box or out of the, even just like sitting in my pocket for months now is what it is. So I think what I will do actually this coming week is I will end up taking one of these other guys as soon as I, them out there, and probably put it in my pocket then as a new blade. Probably the Ridgeline actually will be the first up, I think. Just because it has so much jimping on it, I think you could easily have that be a pretty good one. I don't know if I really want to put anything like paracord to this or not. You could obviously. The fuck? Huh. I don't think I just did that, but yeah, I just noticed there's a little bit of a, like the paint is already chipping off of this. That's some bullshit. Might have to do a repaint or something on it then if that'd be the case. Yeah, figure out exactly what kind of red this is. Actually, it's on a few different spots on this. You can tell there's already like the silver coming through. That's a bummer. Again, that's what happens when you gotta have China make everything for us and stuff, made in America, where we actually do like a quality fucking, paint job on these things. So, yeah. I don't know. It is what it is. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna test these out, and I'll put them through the ringer at some point in the future. But I think what I may do actually is I will probably take my sharpener off Amazon, the one that has the big handle thing on it, sharpen these up through that, get them to pretty close to a razor's edge, do a couple tests with them through other stuff in the next couple weeks is what it is here, and then go from there. Of course, hopefully during that time I'll also get rid of all of this right here, because that's my plan for the reason I do it today is because my back is hurting so much, and with fuckface behind me here, he had some idiot friend over the last couple of days, and they were just being complete jackasses the last 2 nights. Now is what it is, to where I couldn't even sleep at all, really. So, and then thankfully his buddy seemed to leave today, but I don't know if he came back with stuff, and they were doing, I don't know what the fuck this guy was doing today. It was like between noon and like 2:30 this afternoon. And actually even into like right before I started the stream today, he was doing a mix of hammering around the wall there on his side, and then he was doing like, you could tell it was like a power drill of some kind. I don't know if they were drilling holes through the wall or what the hell's going on there. Like the only thing I could think, because I was talking to the neighbor guy that lives over in where I live right here, like this dude's right behind me. It's the guy that shares a kitchen wall with him. Then I saw that guy out yesterday, and he was talking. My cousin that came back, and he was like, "Oh yeah, he had some Amazon packages delivered yesterday." And I was like, "Okay, cool, thanks." And then I went and introduced myself properly to him as what it was. And so Ken, who lives over there in the other unit on the opposite side of the building, he and I got to talking then, and he was talking about this fucking guy and how right around that time a couple months ago when I had caught him stealing my electricity from outside, that's what it was there. It turned out that apparently he was back on, he actually gave this dude a ride to because supposedly this guy is also on disability, and he ended up giving him a ride up to, I think he said Boost Mobile, that's in this area, to cash his disability check and pay some back, because his electricity had been shut off from the power company. And I guess that's why he was trying to jack into my powers, because he had no power at all and couldn't afford to basically get up on the rent, or not the rent, get his back money owed to the power company up to date is what it was or something. So I'm not sure what the fuck's going on there with his ass, but like, I think maybe that's the main reason why my landlord has not evicted him at this point, is because, well, 2 reasons obviously, is because the first reason being the fact that you would have it being like a long ass process, because it would be at least like anywhere from like 30 to 90 days to get him out of there is what it is. But also I think with it being him being on disability, and I use air quotes on that one because I'm pretty sure that guy's lying is what it is, being disability and like gaming the system. But it would be an ADA violation, I think, to try to kick his ass out, though, even though he's doing criminal shit. Here's what it is, man. And for all I know today, like what he was actually doing was basically trying to basically jack into the power system of anybody else around us. So I know what my electric bill is right now. It's around $30 a month. So if it goes up to like 40 or 50 a month, I know for a fact this cocksucker is basically tapping into my line somehow is what it is. And I will definitely be getting the cops involved on that one, the landlord involved on that one, and the city involved on that one. So yeah, I'm not fucking around anymore with this son of a bitch, because he's already pissed me off enough to where I'm done with his ass for life is what it is right now. I'll give everybody 3 chances, dude. And when you when you fuck around with those 3 shots is what it is, and you go to 2 shots and then to 1 shot, or you go 2 shots and then to 1 shot, it's a big fuck you, buddy. So, but now seriously, like, it's bullshit, and I'm just done with this guy. So, but anyway, sometimes you can't help those people that won't help themselves is what it is, and this Jagoff kind of seems like that type, honestly. So, but anyways, so that being said, that's about it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this stream. Hope you guys enjoyed Slicey Boy Saturdays, the series that we're all so far. I will be back probably either next Saturday or next Sunday. I'm not sure yet which one it'll be for another Slicey Boy episode, though. And then we will discuss, I'm probably going to try and put at least one of these knives through their paces at this point in the coming week. And if I can get these all to like a decent edge, I will definitely do some stuff with them and whatnot. We'll do like a redo of the Ozark Trail knives after they're sharpened up and stuff like that. Otherwise, it'll be something where I'll just do some like random knife stuff that I have right now on hand. So, but yeah, the Ozark Trail knives are not bad. Like I said, they're not the greatest quality steel. But like, again, what do you expect for under $10 for a knife is what it is. But definitely for sure, like if you're talking about like Christmas gifts or something like that, dude, like these are perfect for people, for whether it be a stocking stuffer or whether it just be like, hey, nephew, like here's your first knife. Hey, niece, here's your first knife. Hey, child, here's your first knife. You know, like it's a great pocket knife to just give to a kid, basically. Like any of these are, whether it be the Ridgeline, whether it be the Vertex, which has a nice feel to it from that aluminum there is what it is. Whether it be the Thunderhead that also feels pretty good with that propylene handle. Whether it be this Glacier, which that's actually the one I probably wouldn't give just because it doesn't have that full liner and it could easily break on them then if something were to be the case. So yeah, I'd probably go like those two, them two, which would be obviously the Zephyr and then the Thunderhead, and then probably the Trailman if you really want to go for that, you know, it's like don't fuck with me kind of situation where it's like, hey, you want to fuck around, you're about to find out kind of thing is what it is there. So, but yeah, that's one of the ones that's less concealable, obviously, just because it's so big compared to some of these other, like much sleeker looking ones there, size wise. So, I personally like the Zephyr one myself, just because it has that Tonto look to it, is what it is there. And as I said, when I got one of these last year for $5 on their Black Friday sales, this I literally carried this knife, the original here, that didn't have the reverse pocket clip there. I've still carried this to this day, honestly, for almost a year now is what it is. So, like, needless to say, like, when I bought that thing for $5 last year, and I've had it in my pocket pretty much every single day since then for like 11 months now, like, I can attest that that's a pretty good knife, obviously. Even though it's not, you know, maybe not the sharpest out of the box, obviously, but like I said, like I've sharpened this a little bit here and there over time, so it also was not my first go-to. Obviously, I've had other pocket knives in my pocket since then. Like this was maybe in there for like a month or two, and then it was basically, well, actually no, nothing. Yeah, because I would have been April when I got here, so it would have been in my pocket for about maybe 4.5, 5 months, something like that. And then, of course, I started buying other stuff from Amazon. This is I moved to here now. And so we have, obviously, choices that we can make every single day. And right now, for about the last month or so, I think it's about 30 days now, give or take, maybe 40 days or so, somewhere in there. I've had that Flessa in there now is what it is, which is a much better knife. And obviously, again, like 4 times the price of one of these guys is what it is. So, you know. But when you're talking about something that you're going to depend your life on, obviously, like you want to have, that's the one thing with a lot of these ones. Well, actually, it seems like all these ones I got here in the last 24 hours now, and like none of these actually seem to have any kind of a, to them, a glass breaker. So that's why these would be a backup knife and not a primary, because you always want to have that glass breaker on your knife, just because you never know if you're going to be in a situation where, you know, God forbid you are out driving one day and you end up, you know, coming across a deer or something that like flies out in the middle of the road or some shit, and you swerve to avoid it and end up flying right into a random pond or a random, you know, like off of a bridge on into like a river or something like that's what it is there. And you got to think fast and get out of the fucking vehicle before you die. And yeah, you're going to want to have that window breaker, like smash out that window is what it is then. So, and when I have it on a knife is what it is there. So, just to be 100% upfront here, I am not getting paid by Flessa or any other knife company. I never have gotten a dime from any of these companies. I'm just a fan of their knives is what it is. So, but yeah, if I was going to do paid stuff, I would actually admit to it. I'd be like, hey, yeah, I'm getting paid by these people. It's like, no, I'm just giving them free advertisement. That's what it is, dude. I wish they would give me some money or something, but that'd be obviously up to them at that point. If they just want to give me like a free knife or something, that'd be cool too. But I doubt they ever will. But yeah, like I said, from what I've personally seen, like Flessa is one of those companies that definitely like it has like up here and then it's like down here basically, where it's, you know, if you know what you're buying, where it's like D2, etc. or if it's just like the unnamed kind of steel there, which is kind of similar to what these ones are, obviously, where they're like the 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever it is, CR13 stuff. You're not going to get like a super great knife, but yeah, if you're putting the money into it, you're definitely going to be able to get something decent as what it is there. So anyway, but yeah, that being said, that's about it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. I'm sorry for the first couple minutes being messed up the way that they were, just because I didn't realize like what was going on there. I really think it was something on StreamYard's end, because one thing I noticed, and this is something I had a discussion with about some of the guys that were on Honda Stream the other day, it seemed like when they came to StreamYard, they were having the same kind of audio issues initially. So I'm thinking it might be something on the StreamYard end where it's just not, connecting properly or something like that to the mics of people or some shit like that. I'm not even sure what's going on there, but yeah, so my apologies for that one. But again, I think that was it wasn't really on mine, it was more on StreamYard's end. So if you're going to blame anybody for anything on that one, blame them. But anyways, so yeah, that being said, though, that's about it for today. Like I said, I'll see you guys probably. I might do like a grandstand or something either later tonight or tomorrow or something, maybe, depending. It all depends. I'm not even sure. It's already like 5:45, so I'm not sure how I want to do it tonight or not. But like, I'll probably do it sometime tomorrow afternoon is my guess, honestly. Because I know NEA is doing a stream in a couple hours here. And I obviously don't want to compete against him with what it is for viewership, because it'll be nothing at that point, basically. Maybe there'll be like 2 people that'll jump on mine or something like that, and like 30 people jump on his what it is or some shit. But yeah, it's whatever. So I know Honda is not really seeming to do his frog chats on Sundays anymore. He seems to be doing them on Tuesdays now. So I'm not sure if we'll do one tomorrow night or not. But yeah, I think sometime tomorrow I'll probably do something if that be the case. But other than that, as for the Slicey Boy series, we'll bring that back probably next Saturday or Sunday. I'm not sure exactly which day yet. As it stands right now, other streams I'll be doing this coming week, we will have, for sure, I will be doing some kind of a stream, which might be like a Tactical Tuesday or Tactical Wednesday or something like that, maybe. Or I should say Tactically Cool Tuesday or something like that. Because I want to do a winter gear thing is what it is. I literally got some, like one of the packages that came in yesterday, it was different things of socks I got from Amazon that are winter socks. I'm actually wearing one of the pairs right now because of it being so cold right now in this place. It's supposed to be like 45 or 50 out right now, but it feels like it's more like 35 or 40, honestly. So I'm trying out these socks today is what it is, and then I'm going to try a different pair that I got in yesterday tomorrow, and then there's supposed to be a set coming in Monday, and if they come in on Monday, I'm definitely going to go ahead and I will wear those guys Monday into Tuesday is what it'll be then, and we're going to test out those 3 sets, and I'm going to figure out which one I think is the best for me personally, and which one I think has kept my feet the warmest basically this whole time. And if I notice a difference between the 3 of them, obviously, I will definitely mention that. Otherwise, I'll just go over all 3 of them if they're pretty much on the same kind of par of like, hey, they're pretty much all the same or whatever the case be, and you guys can make your differences there or whatever. I was trying to get some heat holder ones, but I couldn't find those on Amazon when I picked these other ones up, because I don't know if Amazon just stopped selling those ones or what it was. Because the only one I could find, it was like, it didn't even say heat holder on it. It said heat something or something on there, but it was like $27 for a single pair of socks. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to pay that for that, dude. And so I was just looking around for like similar prices of like, 15 to 20 basically. And yeah, I found like several that were like around like the 15-ish mark is what it was there. And I just picked up a couple different things on what it was then, because, God forbid, we're supposed to have a bad winter this year. And, I don't want to freeze to death, obviously, in this place in case something does happen. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to have some extra sockage around is what it is there, and make sure that I am definitely in a position where my feet are warm and my head is warm, because that's the 2 things that people don't realize, that that's where a lot of your heat actually goes off from. It's from your head and then from your feet specifically, that's what it is there. That's why you obviously, when you have a baby, why you put a little, hat on their little head, and then you put some socks on their little feet is what it is there. Which obviously I got a haircut yesterday, for those that haven't paid attention. And this hat feels much better, by the way, with my hair being as short as it is now. I also feel a lot better with the hair being short like it is now, but my beard's still pretty big is what it is. I definitely need to, one of these days soon, I'm going to take a knife probably and go about right here, I think. Just cut that little chunk right there off, basically, because it's getting kind of ridiculous now is what it is. And the girl yesterday, though, I will say she did a pretty good job on my, she took the time to do, the back part of my beard sideburn area there is what it is. So, and didn't charge me for it, which is nice. So, but yeah, it depends. It's the problem with people with places like Great Clips and stuff like that is it's kind of a crapshoot of, who you want, who you basically get if you walk in there with no appointment ready or whatever. And it's basically whoever's available. And yeah, she just happened to be available yesterday, and I was discussing her with this fucking clown and what he was doing Thursday night, because I'm pretty sure I mentioned that in yesterday's stream. So I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, he and his moron friend that he had over, I'm not sure if it was his friend or his son or who the guy is to him, if that be the case. So I'm sitting here in the chair, nodding off at that point. It's I don't know, 1:30, 1:45 in the morning or something like that on Thursday morning, or Thursday night, Friday morning, when it is there. And all of a sudden I hear two voices start to speak behind the wall here is what it is. So the only thing I could think is maybe those dudes were drunk, and then they woke up out of a drunken stupor or something like that. And all of a sudden I'm hearing whispering and kind of what's a whisper talk, but then it becomes a talk for about a half hour or so. And then I hear them walk out of that place, walk down the sidewalk here past my place. And this is 2:23, 2:25, something like that in the morning. And they are just hollering, carrying on, walking past my place. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, what the fuck is wrong with you? And the only thing I could think is maybe what they did was they went around and went up to that dude's car and then drove someplace to get some stuff, or went to somebody else's place to get more drunk. I'm not sure. But either way, it was kind of creepy after the fact, because this place was dead silent. I could literally drop a pin and the pin drop. It was that quiet. It was just creepily quiet. It was basically beginning of a horror movie serial killer quiet at that point. Where you're gonna get killed or whatever and you don't realize it. And so basically I was kind of on edge there for about 10 minutes or so because of that, no noise basically. And then ended up kind of trying to fall asleep. And then it was around 3:45, maybe just before that actually, the stupid fucking Kimball truck came through to take our dumpster that day. And that woke me out of a dead sleep. And then I kind of tried to nod off a little bit after that then. And then it was literally about an hour later, which was about 4:45 this yesterday morning, this fucking idiot and his buddy come rolling back through, and again, laughing, carrying on, hollering around, shit I swear to God, they probably woke me up. They most likely woke up the older black lady on the other side of the courtyard there, and then the people that live next to her, which I'm pretty sure the people that used to live here is what it was. Because when I was talking to that Ken guy that lives in the other apartment there, he was mentioning about the people that lived in the apartment there now were the people that used to live here is what it was before they moved out and moved into that one then. So makes sense logically speaking. But yeah, it's just so ridiculous. And so I was talking to the girl at the Great Clips about that, obviously, and she was saying how she had several kids that was there, and she's like, yeah, if anybody would stir up my babies out of a dead sleep like that, I'd be beating their ass. And I'm like, good for you. Good for you. So anyway, but yeah, she seemed like a pretty cool chick, and I could see her being a friend in the future if that'd be the case then. But actually, it's kind of what's kind of sad actually is how easily you can find someone in this country now with just the first name, honestly. So because I was easily able to find her on Facebook last night then after the fact, because I was trying to confirm that she was actually in a relationship or not. And yeah, she is with some dude is what it is, which I'm assuming is the father of the kids that she was talking about, but who the hell knows. But yeah, she was a cool chick either way, and I could definitely see her being like a friend at some point in the future, being like, you know, like an acquaintance or whatever the case be then, or part of the network or something like that down the road. So maybe helping us out, doing some stuff for us or whatever the case be, you know. Helping us like signature gather maybe or something in the future. But anyway, so yeah, that being said though, that's about it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace out, stay safe. Always be carrying, as our friend Krabby mentioned. Always take more than one knife out into the woods for hikes and stuff like that, because you never know. And I would say definitely, like, if you've ever seen that 27 Hours movie, definitely have a very sharp fixed blade with you, because if you're rock climbing or something like that and you end up falling and having your arm pinned, I'm pretty sure you're not going to want to use like a dull ass little fucking Swiss Army knife to like cut through your bone. You're going to want to have like something where you can literally like chop your fucking arm through is what it is. And like a couple of good hacks is what it'll be then. So not just like going for it for like 6 hours or some shit like that. But anyway, but yeah, if that was me and I had to cut my own arm off, I would definitely want to have something like that. The DC-53 blade right here is what it is, or even something bigger than that, like the that GTK I showed before. That's like that big old like machete style blade. So, but that's just me, you know. Not that I plan on ever getting my arm stuck in anything or got to cut it off or anything like that. But if I was in that situation though, like, you know, God forbid, like I would want to have something where it's like 1 to 2 whacks at most. And then it's all, and then from there it would just be like figuring out like exactly where the cartilage and the bone meet up and stuff like that, and then just hacking through that spot or whatever then. Or just like, you know, kind of just giving like a slice through that or whatever the case be then. To where it would be like right there would be where I would cut, obviously. Unless of course it's just your hand stuck and then you just cut through your wrists would be then. So, and that's also a great reason to carry a tourniquet, by the way, because you don't know what's going to happen then, and you don't want to die from a bleed out then, obviously. So, anyway. Or, God forbid, you know, you run into any kind of cryptid in the woods, Bigfoot, Dogman, cat people. I know those exist now, because that DA guy and his buddies at the Nightmare Hunters have talked about that in their streams the last couple weeks now is what it is. Or even just any of these ones that are like local, like the Ozark Howler, or like I know here in Ohio we got Grassman, which I think is just a Bigfoot hybrid if I'm not mistaken. And I think there's other ones too if I'm not mistaken, like just like all kinds of crazy shit basically. I know there's Chupacabra is another one. I think that's more of a Texas area and stuff like that, like Mexico and whatnot. But there's also other stuff out there we don't even know about, man. And I think I will agree with that DA guy, though. I do believe that we are definitely experiencing with a lot of these cryptid activity stuff is what it is. They're coming out of caves, man. Like they're hiding underground is what it is. They live underground. It's kind of like that show From, where it's the crazy ass creatures that live underground. There's what it is. And then they come out at night and fuck with the townspeople is what it is then. Like, I could definitely see it being a situation like that, honestly. But who the hell knows? But I will say one thing. If I was ever out in the woods in any of these places, whether it be any of the ones that DA guys talked about, like Joe Bald and stuff like that, or any of those areas there in Missouri, like, I would not go out less than an AR at that point, dude, and I would have a full kit with me at the time. And I've talked about it in the past. I think I've mentioned it here a couple times, actually, and I do want to do this at some point, hopefully next summer, which is I would like to get – I know Honda is supposed to be moving to Michigan at some point here next year, and I know that NEA and Duke are already in Michigan. I know that Oh god, I'm trying to think what his name is now. Fuck. I was trying to thought now of who I'm thinking of. The dude in Indiana. I know there's at least one dude in Indiana. There's a couple guys here in Ohio with me. And I would like to get a group of about, I don't know, like maybe 10 or 12 of us, get like a big bus or something like that, like rent a bus. We all take a pack with us, obviously, take several guns with us at that point. And we take a little trip to the land between the lakes is what it is then. And go see if we can figure out where some Bigfoot / Dogman are. Now, granted, that being said, it would be a situation of us basically just checking the place out. You know, it wouldn't be us like specifically going and doing like a hunt for these things. That would be fucking stupid. And I'm not going to do that anyway. But what I'm saying is like, in case something were to be hunting us, we would definitely want to be armed enough to where we'd be able to fight back against it. You know what I'm saying? And at least make it back to the bus / vehicles that we're going to take with us to where we can get the fuck out of there as it would be then. But yeah, I'd like to check out the land between the lakes anyway, just because I've never been to that place. And like I said, I've heard from other people that there's obviously a lot of dogman activity on the one side. There's a lot of Bigfoot activity on the other side. And I think it'd be a cool thing to do, honestly. Anybody out there watching that want to come with us, you know, let me know. Like, just, you know, you guys got my info. And obviously, if you want to, probably the best way to get a hold of me or anybody else that's part of the membership of the network here would be go to the X account there and just direct message us there is what it'll be then. Let us know who you are, where you're at, etc. If you want to come with us or something like that then. And we're going to try and set some up. That's what it'll be because, like I said, I definitely want to be in a situation there where I'd love to be able to take a group down there and at least experience something else. Like, if nothing else, just be able to say I was there, basically, you know, if I didn't see anything, if whatever the case be is, but like, it'd be kind of cool to go down there and have like an actual experience. That's what it is. Because I'm pretty sure I have had experiences before with like other stuff, like specifically like UFOs and shit in my life. So it'd be kind of interesting to say I had a cryptid encounter of some kind. So, but anyway, and I would definitely take some of the knives that I've got since then, obviously, down there with me is what it is. And like, basically passing them out to the boys is what it is then is like, okay, who wants what, basically, and just have like this big old plethora of like blades for everybody to grab at then. So, but anyway, other than that, I'm hearing like some weird shit going on again, so I'm gonna go ahead and check out what's going on with this fucking idiot right now. Let's see if anybody's doing any kind of shady stuff outside right now. So. I don't know if that was me or somebody else coming up now. Nope, that was me. Okay. Oh, okay, it was an offer up thing that just popped through them. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna go see what this jackass is doing outside right now before it gets dark. So anyway. But yeah, needless to say, it is what it is. So, like I said, hope you guys enjoyed this stream. I'll see y'all on the next one. Have a good one. Stay safe. Peace out. And I will be back, like I said, tomorrow for probably a grandstand or something. We'll discuss a little bit more of what we discussed on Friday with the whole shutdown and people just being idiots. There's been so many more morons now that have come out of the woodwork and been like, hey, let's go ahead and commit felony crimes for food because we're not going to get food stamps. And I'm like, you're just dumb, dude. Do a fucking job, seriously. Like, and the thing is, too, the same people that are bitching about that stuff, for the most part, you know, that aren't disabled and stuff like that, like, they could easily go out there and work for the next couple of weeks and be able to get at least a paycheck worth to then, you know, have a Thanksgiving dinner or whatever the case be, or God forbid, you know, like, and that's the sad thing. The fact of the matter is, I was even looking at something here the other day that specifically was saying how they were talking about people that were getting various food assistance through the SNAP program and stuff like that. They're like, hey, either go buy shelf stable things right now or go to food banks is what they were telling people to do. And it's not like there's not like a million fucking food banks out there right now too. Like, they could easily just be like, hey, let me go search the internet, here's what it is, and find local food banks and stuff like that. Find my way to one of them and get some stuff there is what it is there. And there you go. You got a Thanksgiving dinner for your family, people. If you don't got a turkey or whatever the case be, you still got like probably all the fixings what it is. So figure it out from there is what it is then. And I'm sure by the time Thanksgiving time rolls around here in the next couple weeks, then I'm sure there's going to be people that are giving like free turkeys out and stuff like that. So go get one of them is what it is then. So yeah, it's just a bunch of idiocy basically. And it's just, I think what it is a lot of people that want to be criminals. And then they're fucking ignorant as shit too. So it's in between like ignorance and wannabe criminality that then leads them admitting to their crimes is what it is then. So, which is just stupid because you're just an idiot at that point. And this is exactly what society is needing it. This is exactly why, going back full circle to when I went to pick up this knife yesterday, it was under a fucking alarm system for an $8 knife. Because when you have a bunch of retards that want to steal everything, you create the lowest trust society possible, and you put us in a bad situation all the way around as a country. And that's why I'm kind of on that Osmond Gold guy's line of thinking, where it's basically he was a few months ago he did a take on this, and I guess it was 1% of the population supposedly accounts for like 63 or something percent of the overall violent crime in this country. And his thing was basically lock up 2% of the population at that point that are all doing crime is what it is then. And you fix the problem almost immediately is what it is then. So I don't disagree with it, honestly, dude. Like, something needs to change for sure. If nothing else, we need to bring back 3 strikes laws is what it is 100% then across the board. So, but anyway, other than that, that's what I'm at for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll see y'all on the next one. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow for a grandstand of some kind. And other than that, I will be doing sometime either Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening, or it might be sometime Wednesday morning, even for that matter. We will be doing a Tactically Cool Tuesday episode then, where I'd be discussing the overall stuff with the different winter socks that I've gotten recently. So, and which one I think is the best of all is what it is then. And then if they're all pretty much, like I said, if they're all about the same, honestly, I'll just do like a thing across the board of like, hey, here's this one, here's this one, here's this one. None of them really were superior to any others is what it is. And then it would be a situation of like, here's the prices of all of them basically. And like what you're getting for that price is what it is. So anyways, but yeah, like I said, hope you guys enjoyed this. Now, like I said, I'll be back doing that stuff this week. And then most likely it'll be this coming Friday. I'll be doing another Freedom Friday, obviously. And then we'll be doing either a Slicey Boy Saturday next Saturday, or we'll do a Sunday episode. I'm not sure which yet. But either way, we will definitely be doing episode 9 next week for sure. And we'll be doing whatever the latest Freedom Friday is next Friday then as well. So, and like I said, I'm not sure exactly what next week's will be. It might be just a repeat of today, except everything's going to be sharpened, and we'll do some testing and whatnot and show exactly how good some of these blades are when they're actually, razor sharp basically. So, but anyway, till later. I will see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Stay safe. Always be carrying multiple knives in the woods, and always know what your surroundings look like. And if God forbid you are ever in an encounter with a cryptid, I would say if you can get away without taking the shot, do so, because the hunters who took the shot most likely did not make it out. So, because most likely what happened was the one that they took a shot at, there was like 7 others that came swarming out against them is what it was then. So, yeah. If you see one, there's probably 5, is what I'll say on that one. So yeah, definitely don't shoot the one, because you'll probably piss off the other 4 or 5 is what it is then. But anyway, other than that, that's about it for today. And I will see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Stay safe. Later.